Hey everybody, this is Dawn, aka the Interactive Nanny, coming to you guys live and in living color from Interactive Nanny's world, where love and play are interacting. So I'm glad to be on with you guys today, and I hope you guys are just as excited as I am to be on this episode. Enjoying this episode, listening, liking, sharing, and subscribing this episode of Interactive Nanny's world. So today we're going to do us a nice little story time. This is the last Sunday in the year of 2025. So be looking forward to new and exciting things to come for next year, 2026. But this is our last Sunday, so I figured I would just come on and let's just get into a nice little, easy little story time that y'all can share with the littles. Or if you feel like you just need to relax and just take your mind off stuff, us adults can listen to it too. The first book we're sharing is Arthur's Underwear, and it's by Mark Brown and Arthur Adventures. So let's get into Arthur's Underwear. I'm sure a lot of you guys, parents and adults, remember the show Arthur. Probably watched Arthur depending on your age when you were little, or if you're older, you probably watched Arthur with some of your children, and possibly might be still watching Arthur with some of the grandchildren. Or if you're a teacher, then you know who Arthur is. But this is Arthur's Underwear. So we're going to get into Arthur's Underwear. Let's get it. Binky Barnes was at the board doing a difficult problem. That's correct, said Mr. Ratburn. Very good. Binky cheered, yes, and dropped his chalk. As he bent down, the class heard a loud rip. Everyone laughed except Mr. Ratburn. Go to the office and ask Miss Tingley to sew them up, he said. That afternoon at softball practice, when Binky came up to bat, Arthur thought about Binky in his underwear and laughed. During dinner, Mom asked, anything interesting happened at school today? Arthur started to laugh. What's so funny? Asked D.W. But Arthur couldn't stop laughing to answer. The next morning, Arthur woke up late. He hurried through breakfast and ran most of the way to school. Sorry I'm late, Mr. Ratburn. I guess my alarm. Everyone burst out laughing. Mr. Reed, being late is one thing, said Mr. Ratburn, but not wearing any trousers, that is quite another. Arthur looked down and screamed. Arthur's scream woke him up. Wow, he thought, what a horrible dream. In school, the class watched a science film. The amoeba is a single-cell life form. Arthur's eyelids began to droop. Suddenly, an amoeba that looked a lot like Arthur appeared on the screen. Its pants fell down, showing its underwear. Help! Cried Arthur Amoeba. I need my pants! All the other amoebas started to laugh. Arthur Amoeba was too embarrassed to move. Then he felt someone shake him. Wake up, Arthur, said Buster. The movie's over. At lunch, Arthur didn't feel like eating. What should I do, Buster? Every time I go to sleep, I'm in my underwear. Try staying awake, Buster suggested. You can't dream if you don't go to sleep. That night, Arthur tried some tricks to stay awake. But as hard as he tried, Arthur just couldn't. I'll get you, Verminator, after I take a little nap. In Arthur's dream, the Verminator was torturing the class by scratching his claws on the blackboard. Hearing cries for help, Bionic Arthur rushed to the rescue. But as he entered the classroom to take on the Verminator, everyone started laughing. My pants! Arthur gasped as he woke up with a start. Rise and shine, Mr. Fancy Pants, said D.W. They're right here. Mom says you better shake a leg or you'll be late for school. Arthur asked Buster for some emergency advice on the way to school. It even happens when I'm a superhero, he exclaimed. I can't stay awake forever. I'm doomed. Maybe you should sleep in your pants, said Buster. That way you won't have to worry about putting them on. That night, DW came into Arthur's room. Why are you wearing your pants to bed? She asked. Because, that way I can be ready for school faster, he said quickly. I'm going to ask Mom if I can sleep in my clothes too, DW said. And maybe my coat and boots. Mom? Arthur sighed and changed into his pajama pants. The next day, Arthur was more worried than ever. What if people find out about my underwear problem? He asked Buster. They'll call me names and then I'll have to change schools. Don't worry, said Buster. Your secret is safe with me. At lunch that following day, Arthur sat with Francine and Muffy. They looked at him and started to giggle. What's so funny? Arthur asked. Do you have your pants on? Asked Francine. Better make sure. Arthur checked. He was wearing pants. He moved to another table. I heard about your nightmares, said the brain. So I got a couple of books on dreams. Apparently, you have a pathological fear of embarrassment. Arthur got up to find Buster. Buster, cried Arthur. You told everyone about my underwear dreams. Not everyone, replied Buster. Only a few kids. Buster, how could you? Well, I couldn't help you. I needed some advice. This is so embarrassing, said Arthur. When Arthur turned to run out of the cafeteria, his pants pocket got caught. Rip! Everyone in the cafeteria began to laugh. Arthur couldn't move, but Binky grabbed 2 trays to cover him. Quick, he whispered, into the kitchen. Miss McGrady wrapped her apron around Arthur and got out a needle and thread. I'm sorry, Buster said. I shouldn't have told anyone. It's okay, said Arthur sadly. You were just trying to help. The hard part will be telling my parents that I have to change schools. Miss McGrady handed Arthur his pants. Thanks, said Arthur. Is there a back door? Afraid not, said Miss McGrady. But do you know the old saying? A banana without its peel is still a banana. Huh? Said Arthur and Buster. It means people get embarrassed all the time, Binky explained. But you're still Arthur, said Miss McGrady. A smart, kind young man, with or without your pants. Arthur smiled. A few days later, Arthur met Buster at the Sugar Bowl. Well, no more underwear nightmares, Arthur said. That's great, said Buster. I never thought that ripping your pants in the cafeteria would be the thing to cure you. As they stood up to leave, Arthur looked at Buster and frowned. Buster, I think you forgot something. Buster woke up with a scream. Uh-oh, he sighed. Here we go again. And that's the end of the story. So this was Mark Brown's Author's Underwear. And now we're getting ready to share Once Upon a Rainy Day by Edouard Manceau. Once Upon a Rainy Day. This is a story that starts over every day, each morning the same way. Mr. Warbler, the keeper of the story, is about to step outside his cottage in his fine feathered suit. Just as the sun rises, he will head slowly and surely down the blue path leading to the forest. The same path that leads straight to the home of the big bad wolf, a black hairy half monster with pointed ears, long teeth, a cold wet nose, and a lolling tongue. Every morning, Mr. Warbler wakes up the big bad wolf with 10 quick raps and 3 long knocks on his heavy wooden door. That's when the big bad wolf appears and his day can begin. But today it's raining, so Mr. Warbler doesn't venture outside and the big bad wolf sleeps in. And so it goes, the same old story, day in, day out. except when it rains. The trees know the story well. Every morning they see the big bad wolf race over to Oscar's house. Oscar is a delectable pig with plump thighs and tender feet who takes care to keep his snout clean. He lived in the city before moving here with his entire library. Oscar adores rainy days like today. Snuggled all cozy and warm under a tartan blanket, he devours stacks of books. But on sunny days, it's always the same story. The big bad wolf races over to catch him. Fortunately, Oscar is a very cunning pig. While the big bad wolf tries to break down his door, Oscar escapes through a back window and jumps onto his bicycle. He pedals as fast as can be, over to his friend Amadeus's house to hide. The big bad wolf gallops. The big bad wolf gallops after him, yelling the same thing every time. Blasted pig, if I catch you, I'll eat you. Oscar always gets there first. He hides his bicycle in the bushes and slips into his friend's house. Amadeus is a famous hare, a very clever one who knows the woods inside out. He has lived here from the day he was born. He stores a giant stash of carrots in his little hut, and in the big hut where he sleeps, he has a well-kept secret. An underground passage. Oscar and Amadeus make their way beneath the rocks to the home of their friend Niles. Above ground, the big bad wolf howls in rage. Rotten hair, blasted pig! If I grab you, I'll gut you! But the big bad wolf never does manage to grab them as they pop out of the tunnel. Oscar and Amadeus always makes it to Niles' place before him. Niles is a flying squirrel. He traveled the world before landing in his tree one fine spring day and retiring his adventurous gear. In the treetop, he has built a platform for his hot air balloon. The minute the big bad wolf charges into sight, Niles grabs his little travel trunk, helps his two friends on board, and fires up the balloon. He sets his course for the house belonging to their pal, Pop-Off, the big mouth bear. The big bad wolf chases after them below, throwing stones and bellowing. Wretched squirrel, rotten hair, blasted pig, if I knock you down, I'll gobble you up. But the hot air balloon looks magnificent in the clear blue sky, soaring proudly beyond reach. Niles grabs his telescope from his little trunk and soon spots Pop-Off's house and Pop-Off himself pointed to his rooftop. For many years, Pop-Off was a circus clown. One summer night, he stopped here to perform with his troupe under the big top, but early the next morning when the circus left, he stayed behind to devote himself to his music. He is very fond of Oscar, Niles, and Amadeus. When the balloon lands, Pop-Off welcomes them with a toothy grin. So it's always the same old story. The big bad wolf shows up and Oscar opens the door exclaiming, Do come in, dear friend. The minute he's inside, Niles trips him and Amadeus shoves him into the pipe that leads into the huge trumpet. Pop-Off blows so hard with his enormous mouth that the big bad wolf flies through the air. Crash! This story always ends in the Cabbage Patch. The wolf makes his way home, battered and bruised and flushed with rage. The whole way there he grumbles, Confounded bear, wretched squirrel, rotten hair, blasted pig, one day I'll get my paws on you and I'll finish you off. Grrr. But that day has yet to come, and every night the four friends celebrate at Pop-Off's house. Together they sing. First he tried to catch us, then he swore he cut us, next he vowed to gobble us up, but he couldn't pull it off. Now he's in the cabbage patch, the wolf has met his match. The next day, if the weather allows, the story begins all over again. Actually, the rain has stopped now. The sun is out. Mr. Wobbler has left to wake up the big bad wolf. This time, the story can start for real. And that's the end of the story. So those are the two stories that we shared today. I hope you guys have enjoyed Arthur's Underwear and Once Upon a Rainy Day. Don't forget to listen, like, share, and subscribe. Until next week, I hope you guys have had a blessed, safe, happy, wonderful Christmas holiday. And I hope that your New Year's starts off fresh and gives you guys new vision, new insight, new wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I hope you guys have an amazing week for this upcoming week. And I hope that you enjoy your New Year's Day with family and friends. Um, and let's just all continue to try to be better and do better every day. Until next week, this is Don, aka the Interactive Nanny, signing off from Interactive Nanny's world, where love and play are interacting. I'm going to say Happy New Year to you guys. Be blessed. And don't forget to come back next year. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.